captains are pretty badass. You can give him a fedora if you want to. Yeah, let's give him a fedora. Moving on, eyewear. Let's just go ahead and give him some pilot's glasses. Make him look cool. Does he need a beard? Yeah, let's just give him some mutton chops. Everyone hates mutton chops. And then we got some gloves. Let's just give him some tactical response gloves. Masks. Do we want to give him any masks? Looks pretty cool. Even if he does look a bit odd. Obviously, you're going to be designing this around the needs of your game. But what you can do now then, like I mentioned earlier, you can either go to File, export the model as OBJ and the textures, or you could send it directly to Mixamo, which is really simple. Just press the button in the top right, choose a character name, and I'm just going to call this Dodgy Police. And then I'm just going to go ahead and save this. And what it's going to do now then is it's going to export the model to a temporary file, and then once it's done that, it's going to upload it to Mixamo for us guys to use later on. So inside of Mixamo, we can rig it, we can animate it, and then we can export it out from Mixamo ready to use in our own game later on. So you can see here at the moment it's just exporting an OBJ, and then it's just going to send that over to Mixamo. What you might want to do in the meantime is open up the Mixamo website on your computer. So I'm going to open this up, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to retrieve that character of ours. So you can see it should be done in just a second. I'm going to go to my store, give it a couple of seconds to load up, go to my assets, and then it's going to pop up in here in a moment. So give it a second. So there we go. So just preparing model for rigging. Give it a couple of seconds and then it should pop up. So if I go ahead and refresh this now that it's done, you can see that it's popped up here and that's all good. Now generally, Fuse is going to open up your default web browser to do this. For me it's Internet Explorer, which I don't like doing, so I'm just going to leave that and I'm going to do it all inside of here. So you can see here with my little thumbnail, you can see it says it's not yet rigged. That's because it doesn't rig it automatically. What you've got to do is click this, and then you're going to see a little preview here on the left hand side. It's going to take a little while for it to generate the assets, as it's only just uploaded the character model. What you want to do is go straight over to rig character, and then once you've done this, it's going to automatically rig it for you. And the really cool part is you don't even have to place the markers. Adobe Fuse is going to tell Mixamo exactly where everything in it is. So it's going to tell it where the chin is, the wrists are, the elbows are, the knees are, and all of that good stuff. All you've got to do is just let this auto rigger do its thing, and then from there you can just animate it like any other, character that you've just used from Mixamo. It's as simple as that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause the video for just a moment, and then as soon as it's done automatically rigging, I'll show you how to animate it and get it ready to bring into a game engine. Okay, so you can see it's loaded up here now, and you can see I've got my character. You can see him looking left, you can see him looking right, and he's exactly the same as how he looked inside of Adobe Fuse, which is great. Generally, you want to leave these settings exactly how they are, standard skeleton, and the facial blend shapes, just leave that normal. Press finish, and then from here we can either view it in my assets if you want to download it straight away, or you could proceed to animate it. So what I'm going to do, press the animate button, and then from there I'm going to go to my store, and then you can choose an animation pack to apply to this. So let's say you want your guy to, let's have a rifle for example with our guy. You can see here it's now automatically assigned it to your Dodgy Police character. Press change character if it hasn't, and then you just select the one in there, and then from there you can add it to your assets. You can customize the pack, it's entirely up to you. So just add it to your assets, and then from there you can proceed to download it. But most importantly guys, this is pretty much everything that I wanted to show you how to do. I wanted to show you how to get a character from Adobe Fuse into Mixamo and then getting it ready to view and download. It's really that simple. This whole character has been created in the process of about 10 minutes, so play around with it, create whatever characters you want guys. Once again, thanks for watching, stay awesome, keep creating. Your boy Virtus, signing out. This series was made possible by you guys supporting me on Patreon. If you want to help create other series like this, then check out my Patreon page in the link in the description.
Welcome to mographplus.com. In this series of tutorials in almost 4 hours, we go through the process of creating advanced 3D motion graphics in Cinema 4D and After Effects. This is another one of our project-based tutorial series in which we take one motion graphic design and show you how to create that motion graphic from scratch. In this course, we will recreate this very nice and professional 3D motion graphic. We start off by explaining the general workflow to create this motion graphic design. Have you ever played with Rubik's Cube? So we're going to show you how to set up a simple yet effective Rubik's Cube rig in Cinema 4D and how to animate it. This is the most important step to create this motion graphic design. Then we start from absolutely scratch and walk you through every and each step you need to know to design this amazing 3D motion graphic design. Everything will be done in front of you and there would be no secrets at all. After we finished rigging and animating, we start the lighting process and prepare our scene for final render. As soon as our render is finished, we start the compositing process inside After Effects and turn our raw renders into one-of-a-kind 3D motion graphic design. So if you want to learn how to create and design professional 3D motion graphics, this course is for you. If you think you know the basics of Cinema 4D but cannot design a professional looking motion graphic, make sure to take the course and learn the thought process behind a high quality motion graphic and how to approach one. So let's get started. Thank you for watching this free video tutorial from mographplus.com. Please make sure to visit our website and check out our premium courses for Cinema 4D, 3ds Max, Arnold, V-Ray, Maxwell, motion graphics, and much more. And also please make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Vimeo to enjoy our free video tutorials. Okay folks, welcome to mographplus.com. Now in this first section and in this lesson basically we're going to be talking about how basically to have this animation of Rubik's cubes and how to go about it. I mean it's really not going to be that hard, and especially I try to make it as simple as possible for this lesson and show you a very easy way to achieve this kind of interrelated motions. You can see different animations and motions, and definitely it is going to be kind of easy, kind of hard, but the way we're going to be walking you through in this lesson is going to kind of be very simplified, and it's going to be really easy to everybody to understand it. The first thing about the whole workflow is that if you take a look at this design here, we have two different types of cube. We have these simple cubes which are very simple, and these complex cubes that are made up of a lot of pieces. Now the way we're going to be doing this is we're going to be working with absolutely simple cubes, and we're going to animate them, and when the animation is done we are going to be able to simply replace those simple cubes with these complex cubes. But while we are animating those, we're going to be using just very simple cubes. So let's go ahead into Cinema 4D and start kind of working and see what we are going to be able to do. So the first thing I'm going to create a cube, and I'm going to my object and reduce its size to something like 190 centimeters and Control and Enter. Perfect. And then we're going to enable fillet and go to something like 2 centimeters for the radius and 5 for the subdivision. And then the next thing is to basically go ahead and actually convert this cube. So I'm going to hit C. Okay. I'm going to hit C and then go to my MoGraph menu, hold down Alt and click on the cloner. We're going to be changing the type from mode to grid array, and we're going to something like 390 centimeters. Perfect. So that's what we have at the moment. Okay, great. The next thing is to go ahead and actually we can simply go ahead and convert this cloner to be a simple object. But before that, I'm going to my layers and create new layers. Let me just change the color to something a bit more like this, and I'm gonna rename this to extra. I'm going to create a copy, so control and drag, and then control and drag this copy into my extra layer and make sure it's not visible in my viewer, renderer, or my manager, so we can reference back to this cloner if we wanted to. The next thing, I'm going to hit C on this cloner to convert it. So here, there we go, and now we have our cloner and our 27 cubes from 0 to 26. Perfect. Now I'm going to control and drag this cloner, and this is going to be our cloner. Let's go ahead and actually rename this to converted, and also I'm going to have another original version of this guy, so converted. Perfect. Let's go ahead and control and drag this guy to my extra layer too. So here is our cloner, and the first thing is to do is to make sure, if you take a look at the cube, they have different axis points, and the pivot point for our all of our cubes is different. What we're going to be doing is make sure that all of our cube have the exact same axis point and pivot point, which is 0, 0, 0 on X, Y, and Z. So let's go ahead and select our first cube. I'm going to enable my axis tool here, and in my coordinate manager, I'm going to type down 0, 0, 0 and hit enter. And I'm going to do this for all of my cubes. So there we go. The second one,